Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight, where we get you the day's top stories from India and across the world. Today, of course, our big focus is on the economic survey, the historic session, the budget session, of course, being preponed in fact, January. And tomorrow is, of course, when we see the big budget being released. But ahead of that, lots that's making news. Let's get you the headlines. Budget session of Parliament starts with the President Pranab Mukherjee's address to members of both houses. Mukherjee calls it a historic session that ushers in a change in the budget cycle and merger of the general with the rail budget for the first time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hopes all factions will come together in Parliament for the welfare of society, urges parties to help in the smooth functioning of both houses of Parliament. Economic Survey 2016-17 is tabled in Parliament. Economic growth rate estimated in the range of 6.75% to 7.25% in the next fiscal. Effects of demonetization predicted to be transitional with long-term benefits. And US President Donald Trump fires acting US Attorney General Sally Yates, calls her action an act of betrayal after she refuses to enforce his immigration ban orders. The budget session of Parliament started on Tuesday with President Pranab Mukherjee's address to members of both houses. Calling it a historic session, the President said that for the first time it has heralded the advancement of the budget cycle and the merger of the general budget with the rail budget. The President also praised the Modi government for taking many initiatives to improve the quality of life of the poor, including its commitment to provide shelter to them. President Mukherjee noted that the country is facing the challenge of terrorism for the last 4 decades, including cross-border attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. He said that India will actively cooperate with other nations to decisively defeat terrorist forces.
At the core of all my government's policies is the welfare of the Garib, Dalit, Pirit, Shoshit, Vanchit, Kishan, Shramik and Yuva. My government is guided by the Antodaya philosophy of Pandit Dindayal Upadhyay. His centenary year is being observed as Garib Kalyan Bars. Financial inclusion is key to poverty alleviation. An unprecedented 26 crore plus Jan Dhan accounts have been opened for the unbanked. Over 20 crore RuPay debit cards have been issued to enable cashless payments. 65% of our population today is below the age of 35. Our youth is our greatest strength, and Yuva Udya needs to be channelized effectively with the motto of Har Haat Ko Hunar. My government has taken several steps for skilling the youth and improving their employability. The work of skill development that was earlier spread across 21 ministries and 50 departments has been brought under one umbrella ministry. The Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana has been launched with a budget outlay of rupees 12,000 crore to train 1 crore youth over the next 4 years. Over 20 lakh youth have already benefited. National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme has been launched with a budget outlay of rupees 10,000 crore. Honorable members, to combat the evils of black money, corruption, counterfeit currency and terror financing, the government took the decision on 8th November 2016 to demonetize all 500 and 1000 rupee currency notes. My government's very first cabinet decision was to set up an SIT on black money. The passing of black money, undisclosed foreign income and assets, and imposition of Tax Act 2015, Benami Transactions Prohibition Amendment Act 2016, amendments to treaties with Singapore, Cyprus and Mauritius to prevent misuse of provisions in such treaties for tax evasion, taking forward the concept of cooperative federalism through one nation, one tax, one nation, one market. Both houses of parliament passed the Goods and Services Act. 17 states governed by political parties across the political spectrum ratified these in a record 23 days. My government is thankful to the GST Council for working to resolve outstanding issues. India has been widely acclaimed as a bright spot in the global economy at a time when global growth has been slow. The rate of inflation, the balance of payments, current account deficit, and the fiscal deficit have been consistently reduced since 2014. Foreign direct investment and foreign exchange reserves have reached record levels. My government welcomes a constructive debate on simultaneous conduct of elections to Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly. Funding of election to eradicate the misuse of money power also needs to be debated. My government would welcome any decision taken by the Election Commission in this regard after consultations with political parties. My government has taken decisive steps to give a fitting reply to the repeated incursions on our territorial integrity, sovereignty. On 29 September 2011, our defense forces successfully conducted surgical strikes at several launch pads along the line of control to prevent infiltration by terrorists. We are proud of the exemplary courage and valor displayed by our defense personnel and owe a debt of their gratitude to them.
And ahead of the budget session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi too addressed the media, highlighting the start of a new tradition of merging the railway budget with the general budget. He also hoped for a comprehensive discussion in Parliament for the welfare of society. The Prime Minister said that he had faith that all factions will come together for the discussion. He also recalled that while earlier budgets were presented at 5 in the evening, it was former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee who advanced it to morning. The first part of the budget session will conclude on the 9th of February and the Houses will meet on the 8th of March again after the recess.
पिछले दिनों सभी राजनीतिक दलों के साथ सामूहिक रूप से, वैयक्तिक रूप से लगातार चर्चा हुई है। सत्र का सर्वाधिक उपयोग जनहित के लिए हो, सार्थक चर्चा हो, बजट की भी बारीकी से चर्चा हो। पहली बार बजट 1 फरवरी को
Well, the Economic Survey 2016-17 was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, and the survey projects the economy to grow in the range of 6.75% to 7.25% in the next fiscal. The survey says that demonetization will affect growth in the short run, but will have long-term benefits.
Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley tabled the Economic Survey 2016-17 in Parliament on the first day of the budget session.
Madam, I rise to lay on the table a copy in English and Hindi of the Economic Survey 2016-17.
Prepared by the Chief Economic Advisor in the Finance Ministry, Arvind Subramanian, the survey says that demonetization will affect growth rate by 0.25% to 0.5%. It, however, emphasizes that the adverse impact on GDP growth will be transitional. The Economic Survey sees fiscal windfall gains from the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana and low oil prices. It pegs agriculture sector growth rate at 4.15% in 2016-17, significantly higher than the 1.2% in 2015-16. Growth in the industrial sector has been estimated to moderate to 5.2% in 2016-17 from 7.4% the previous financial year. The service sector is estimated to grow at 8.9% in 2016-17.
बहुत सारे domestic uncertainties भी हैं. We have to see how demonetization plays out. और externally भी काफी मतलब the world is very different. I think we don't know exactly कल NAFTA में क्या होगा, कल US-China relations में क्या होगा. So इतनी सारी uncertainty है that I think we should reflect that in our forecasts.
The survey also prescribes cuts in individual income tax rates and real estate stamp duties. It says income tax net could be widened gradually by including all high-income earners. It, however, cautions against efforts to collect taxes on disclosed and undisclosed wealth that could lead to tax harassment.
Operation Clean Money, and in Hindi it is called Swachh Dhan Abhiyan. Swachh Dhan Abhiyan. It is just the name of the programming software which will be used to get answers on all the deposits which are made. And after getting all the preliminary answers from people, then only, if the need be, we would be taking legal action against those people.
The survey underscores the need for fiscal prudence for both centre and the states for fiscal health of the economy. It also pointed out that Universal Basic Income Scheme is an alternative to a plethora of state subsidies for poverty alleviation. The Economic Survey is the annual government report that also sets the tone for the general budget. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will present the annual budget on Wednesday amid growing expectations that he will unveil measures to raise spending power and revive investment cycle. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the Income Tax Department on Tuesday also said that it will question 18 lakh taxpayers whose deposits post the note ban do not match their tax-paying profiles. The department also declared that deposits of over 5 lakh rupees post November 8th will come under scanner. Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia said that the tax department will be sending emails, SMSs to those whose deposits did not match the payment profile to inquire about such deposits. In a similar crackdown on unaccounted money, the IT department also attached 42 properties in the last few days and issued 87 notices under the Prohibition of Benami Property Transaction Act.
In the first phase, where the deposits in the account are not matching with our data, we are putting the same on our e-filing portal, seeking explanations about source of income. In the initial phase, we are putting data of those persons who have deposited rupees 5 lakh or more and deposits between rupees 3 lakh to 5 lakh of suspicious nature and who had poor tax compliance after 8th of November 2016. This action initially covers only 18 lakh taxpayers whose data we have put on our portal of e-filing.
And now let's get you all the updates from the poll-bound states. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav on Tuesday said that if the Samajwadi Party does get elected in the state again, Party Supremo Mulayam Singh Yadav will be the one who will be respected the most. Addressing a rally in Jalisar in Etah district, the Samajwadi Party leader slammed the BJP for not delivering on its promise of Achhe Din.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav once again reiterated the role his father plays in the Samajwadi Party. insisting that if the Samajwadi Party gets elected, Mulayam Singh will be the most respected man. Akhilesh claimed his government's development works exceeded his manifesto promises.
पहले तो हम ही और आप चर्चा कर रहे थे, गली मोहल्ले में चर्चा चल रही थी कि हाँ समाजवादी पार्टी का काम अच्छा है, सही दिशा में ले आ रही है समाजवादी पार्टी। लेकिन अब तो जितने भी सर्वे आ रहे हैं और जितने भी टीवी हैं, अब तो सब बोल रहे हैं कि अगर कोई सरकार उत्तर प्रदेश में बनने जा रही है तो साइकिल और हाथ के साथ बनने जा रही है।
Akhilesh charged the Modi government with not delivering on its promises, stating that people are now asking where are the Achhe Din. He also alleged that the BJP had copied the SP's manifesto.
लाइन में लग करके लोगों की जान तक चली गई। मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, उस काले धन का आंकड़ा कौन देगा? कोई आंकड़ा दे सकता हो तो बता दे हमें काले धन का। हमारे गरीब और हम लोग तो जानते ही नहीं कभी-कभी कि काला क्या है, सफेद क्या है। हमारे गरीब ने, मजदूर ने, किसान ने कमाया और बैंक में रख दिया और ये समझता है कि अगर हमने बैंक में रख दिया तो हमारा पैसा सुरक्षित भी है और ये सफेद पैसा है। लेकिन बीजेपी के लोग कहते हैं कि नहीं, जो कुछ पैसा है वो काला है।
Uttar Pradesh will go to polls in 7 phase elections between February 11th to March 8th. Out of the 104 assembly seats, the Congress will contest 105 seats and the Samajwadi Party is fielding candidates in 298 constituencies. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in a new twist to the feud in the Yadav clan, senior Samajwadi Party leader Shivpal Singh Yadav today announced that he will float a new party after the 11th of March. Earlier in the day, however, Shivpal clarified that he is still contesting the polls on the Samajwadi Party's ticket from Jaswant Nagar. Even after the Akhilesh-led faction won rights to the cycle symbol, Shivpal did not comment on the newly formed alliance.
जिसको जहां से टिकट मिला है वहां से चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं और ये पहले तो हम अपना चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं 19 तारीख तक 19 तारीख तक सोचेंगे 19 के बाद जो बुलाएगा जो हमारा समर्थक होगा उस पर हम विचार।
Well, meanwhile, Samajwadi Party MLA Ravidas Mehrotra and Congress leader Maruf Khan have both filed their nomination papers from Lucknow Central constituency. Mehrotra, however, has said that Khan will have to withdraw his nomination from the seat as he will be contesting from the seat. The tussle over contesting the Lucknow Central seat began after both the parties forged an alliance after several rounds of negotiations on seat sharing.
अखिल भारतीय कांग्रेस कमेटी के महासचिव उत्तर प्रदेश के प्रभारी आदरणीय गुलाम नबी आजाद साहब ने मुझे निर्देश दिया कि कल आप भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस की तरफ से लखनऊ मध्य विधानसभा के लिए नामांकन करें और अपना सिंबल पार्टी कार्यालय से सवेरे हासिल कर लें। मैं हमारी पार्टी हाईकमान ने आदेश किया है और मैं उनके आदेश के अनुसार अपना नामांकन कर रहा हूँ।
अखिलेश यादव जी ने और राहुल गांधी ने जब संपर्क करके लाखों लोगों के सामने जनता से हमारे लिए वोट मांगा है और उसके बाद मैंने नामांकन किया है, मुझको सिंबल मिल गया है, मैं चुनाव लड़ रहा हूं, मैं समाज पार्टी और कांग्रेस का प्रत्याशी हूं, मैं चुनाव लड़ूंगा।
Responding to a complaint filed against him for violating the Model Code of Conduct, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar today said that the Election Commission was free to investigate any complaints against him. The complaint followed Parrikar's comment on Sunday when he told residents of a slum near Panjim that it was okay to accept 500 rupee notes from candidates to attend rallies. Parrikar's comment came on a day when the EC directed the state poll officials to file an FIR against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal for making a similar statement. On Monday, Kejriwal had dared the EC to take action against Parrikar. The Congress too has demanded action against him.
There is not job of opposition, there is job of election commission. Let them do the inquiry and let them find out what I made for.
And here are more updates from across the country and nationwide. The Tamil Nadu government announced an inquiry commission to look into the violence during the pro-Jallikattu protests in the state. A former High Court judge will head the commission. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam said that the commission will submit its report within 3 months. Tamil Nadu government tabled the bill against a national eligibility cum entrance test on NEET in the assembly today. The state's Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Dr. C. Vijayabhaskar, tabled the bill, calling it a policy decision. The bill will let admissions continue for MBBS and Bachelor of Dental Surgery on the basis of marks obtained in higher secondary examinations. The Jammu and Kashmir Assembly witnessed an uproar today after the Speaker ordered the remarks by Jammu and Kashmir CM Mehbooba Mufti to be expunged. BJP MLA Rajiv Sarotia got up as the Assembly began its proceedings and urged the Speaker to expunge the remarks made by her on Monday, in which she called Article 370 anti-national. After the adjournment, the opposition continued to raise the demand, forcing another adjournment. International news now, and US President Donald Trump sacked acting Attorney General Sally Yates for questioning his executive order on the immigration ban. The White House accused Yates of betraying the Department of Justice. Yates had asked the department not to defend Trump's order that denies entry to all refugees as well as citizens of 7 Muslim-majority nations.
US President Donald Trump fired acting US Attorney General Sally Yates after she refused to enforce his immigration ban orders. Yates was appointed by Barack Obama. She was sacked hours after she told the Justice Department not to enforce the presidential order, saying she wasn't convinced that it was lawful. A White House statement said Yates betrayed the department. U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Dana Pente, replaced Yates as acting Attorney General. The White House defended the order.
His view, in general, is not to wait to get ahead of the curve. There wasn't a specific threat. He was saying we have to do this Saturday, Sunday will be. But the point that I'm trying to make is that we don't know when that hour comes. We don't know when that individual crosses into our border to do us harm. And so the idea of waiting when you don't know, could it be that night? Could it be the next day? Could it be the next week? And the president's view is, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to make sure that we protect the homeland and its people as soon as possible with every measure that I can.
Political and legal pressure continued to grow over the travel ban. Washington became the first state to challenge Trump's executive order legally, while Democrats called for the end to the ban.
We are a country based on the rule of law. And in a courtroom, it is not the loudest voice that prevails. It's the Constitution. That's why we're a nation of laws. At the end of the day, either you are abiding by the Constitution or you are not. And in our view, the President is not adhering to the Constitution when it comes to his executive action.
What Trump has done is give ammunition to the jihadists all over the world who have told their people that we in the United States hate them. We do not hate the Muslim people, and we want them to know that.
Former President Barack Obama also sided with protesters, saying he fundamentally disagreed with the notion of discriminating against individuals because of their faith or religion. Huge protests were held across several US states and around the globe. Hundreds of Google employees gathered outside its Mountain View headquarters to protest against the ban. Protests were also held in Washington and Ohio, where protesters clashed with the police. London and Tokyo also witnessed protests over the ban order.
You know, green card holders and visa, like citizens of our country, are being stopped. And, you know, it's like coming home and having the police, you know, like raid your house and be like, you know, like, oh, well, you can't go home. Like, in terms of like trying to relate it to, it's impossible. Like, you feel like a second-rate citizen. You don't feel like, you know, it's your home. You know, like some of my friends may be Catholic or Christian or whatever it may be. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, what you believe. It's who you are. Everyone wants the same thing. We love our families and our neighbors, and we just want to be happy and secure in life.
Trump's ban on nationals from 7 Muslim-majority countries has sparked street protests in US and abroad. The ban bars citizens from Iraq, Syria, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan and Yemen. President Trump argued that his action will protect America from attacks. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
That's all we have for you in the news tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.